What if I told you that millions of people around the world fell for one of the most elaborate AI-generated hoaxes in internet history? A story so convincing, so emotionally devastating, that it spread like wildfire across every major social media platform, fooling even seasoned internet users who thought they could spot fake news from a mile away. This is the story that shook the internet to its core, and today, we're diving deep into the Jessica Radcliffe incident that never actually happened. Picture this. You're scrolling through your feed when suddenly you see a video with the caption, "Final moments of Marine trainer Jessica Radcliffe before tragic orca attack." The footage is grainy, shaky, but disturbingly real. You watch as what appears to be a routine performance at a marine park turns into an absolute nightmare. The comments are flooded with shocked reactions, people sharing their disbelief, their horror, their heartbreak. Within hours, this video has exploded across TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, accumulating millions of views and shares. But here's the thing, none of it was real. The alleged incident was nothing short of horrifying. According to the viral posts, Jessica Radcliffe, a beloved marine trainer, had been brutally attacked by the very killer whale she had raised from birth. The headlines were shocking. Marine trainer torn apart and swallowed alive by orca she loved. The story claimed this was the last recorded video of her life, captured during what should have been a routine performance at a U.S. marine park. The video appeared to show Jessica performing with her orca companion in front of a cheering crowd. Everything seemed normal at first. The music was playing, the audience was clapping, and Jessica was guiding the massive creature through its routine. But then, without warning, the orca suddenly lunged at her. The grainy footage, allegedly, showed the animal dragging Jessica underwater as chaos erupted in the stands. Witnesses described hearing her screams as the orca thrashed violently in the water, with some claiming the animal had literally split Jessica in two. Rescue attempts reportedly failed as the agitated orca charged at lifeguards who tried to intervene. But what made this story particularly heartbreaking was Jessica's supposed backstory with this orca. According to the viral narrative, Jessica had devoted over a decade of her life to this creature. She had allegedly discovered the orca as a helpless calf and had spent countless hours nurturing it back to health. The story painted a picture of a woman who had sacrificed everything for this animal, feeding it daily, training with it, swimming alongside it, even singing to it during quiet moments. She never married, never had children of her own, because this orca was her family. The bond between them was described as unbreakable, which made the alleged betrayal all the more devastating. The irony factor is what made this story spread like lightning across social media. Millions of people clicked, shared, and commented because the narrative hit every emotional button imaginable. Here was a woman who had given her entire life to caring for this magnificent creature, only to be killed by it in the most brutal way possible. The headlines emphasized the betrayal angle, and audiences felt like they were watching a heartbreaking movie play out in real life. The detailed account of that supposed fateful day was chilling. A huge crowd had gathered for what was expected to be a spectacular show. But according to the fabricated story, there were warning signs that something was wrong. The orca was reportedly acting strangely, restless, aggressive, different from its usual demeanor. Despite these concerns, the show went on because tickets had been sold and thousands of fans were waiting to see Jessica and her beloved companion perform. As the performance began, everything seemed to proceed normally. The music started, the orca began circling the tank, and Jessica guided it through the opening sequences. But then came the moment that allegedly changed everything. Without any warning, the orca struck. The description claimed it clamped down on Jessica and pulled her under the water.
Stop.
At first, the audience thought it was part of the show, perhaps a dramatic new routine they hadn't seen before. But as the seconds ticked by and Jessica didn't resurface, screams began to fill the arena, the water turned red, and witnesses reported hearing Jessica's cries for help. Lifeguards rushed to the scene, but the orca, now in a frenzied state, charged at anyone who tried to approach. In the end, according to this fabricated account, Jessica was consumed by the very creature she had loved and raised. This is where the real investigation begins. Something about this story didn't sit right, so a deep dive into the facts was necessary. Every major news outlet was searched. U.S. sources, international coverage, everything. Official records were combed through, including marine park incident reports, animal rights organization documentation, and accident databases. The search extended to obituaries, police investigations, and any official documentation that would support such a massive tragedy. But here's the shocking truth that emerged. There was no Jessica Radcliffe. No marine park in the United States had ever reported such an incident. No obituaries existed for anyone by that name who worked with marine animals. No investigations had been launched, no official statements had been made, and no documentation could be found anywhere to support any aspect of this story. The entire narrative was completely fabricated, a sophisticated piece of AI-generated fiction designed to go viral. Every single detail, from Jessica's identity to the video footage to the eyewitness accounts, had been artificially manufactured. The story was so convincing that millions of people believed it without question, sharing it across platforms and expressing their genuine grief for a woman who never existed. This revelation exposed just how dangerous AI-generated content can be when it's designed to manipulate emotions. The Jessica Radcliffe story combined dramatic video footage with a heartbreaking backstory, creating the perfect storm for viral content. American newspapers and tech watchdog organizations eventually debunked the story, but not before it had spread to millions of people worldwide. The speed at which this false story spread highlights a critical problem with social media algorithms. Content that generates strong emotional reactions gets amplified rapidly, often faster than fact-checkers can investigate and debunk it. By the time the truth emerged, the damage was done. Millions of people had already been emotionally manipulated by completely artificial content. This incident serves as a stark warning about the dangers of AI-generated fake content in our digital age. The Jessica Radcliffe story proves just how gullible the public can be when presented with compelling but fabricated narratives. It was nothing more than digital smoke and mirrors, designed specifically to shock, scare, and go viral. So there you have it, the complete truth behind the Jessica Radcliffe orca attack hoax. No real incident occurred, no trainer was harmed, and no orca turned on its caregiver. It was all an elaborate deception that fooled millions of people worldwide. The question now is, are AI hoaxes like this just harmless entertainment? Or do they represent a real danger to our society? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want more content that cuts through the lies and brings you the real truth, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update.